Hello, everybody.
Good
You are
morning.
staying cool.
Right, stay cool. Kaya naka-white kami today.
White at saka
White,
sleeveless.
green, at saka yung mga background natin. Alam niyo may isang article na lumabas kumakailan tungkol sa ang
Sa
importansya
NYR
ng,
lumabas.
na hindi pa yun, yung ang
Iba.
importansya ng magtanim ng maraming puno dahil kung gusto niyong lumamig yung inyong mga kapaligiran na hindi kayo gumagastos masyado. Hindi kayo maasa na may sa aircon o kung ano man.
Siguro kung nasa probinsya, meron ka pa matatamnan.
Pero
Sa Manila, mahirap maghanap
marami ng lugar sa
ng
ating mga
pwesto sa
tagapakinig
puno.
na kayo nakatira sa mga urban center. Mahirap talaga pagdating sa ganitong panahon.
At least, what you can do, you wear cool clothes, no?
And make
Ito yung
some,
manuduwang, light materials.
and do something in your home. Sa mga bahay ninyo, pwede naman natin gawa natin ng paraan. Kung hindi natin pwedeng mapalitan yung ating kapaligiran sa labas, at least yung ano kaya natin gawa ng paraan, din gawa natin ng paraan.
Oo. Oh, and drink plenty of water. Alam niyo, may nagbigay sa akin to. Ang laki-laki. Isang
Tawag
galon
dyan,
lang
tanker.
laman nito. Pero ang maganda sa kanya, at least makikita nyo if you're drinking enough water during the day. Ito, pang isang araw, no? Meron sa umaga, inom ka na kagad. And then, you have do it
9
for
a.m.
yourself. Meron pa siyang mga reminders, no?
Ma-inspire kayo.
Trying, drink more, replenish energy, don't give up. Dito na oh, konti na lang, di
Konti
ba?
na lang.
You're almost
Ang ano
there.
lang, ang ano
And
lang
you
dyan.
did it, okay?
Siyempre, huwag nyo lang lalagay sa ano ha. Huwag nyo
Sa init.
Sa init.
Oo.
Kasi plastic yan eh. Pagbago yung
I mean, you don't have to buy this kind of bottle, but at least you have a way of measuring to make sure umiinim
you're
tayo.
drinking sufficient water.
Alam mo, yung being dehydrated, kahit konti lang, slightly, marami ho siyang effect sa katawan natin. Eh, sa init na ng ating panahon, ang dehydration, magpapainit din ng ulo. Pwede ka daw magkaroon ng galit. It affects your mood talaga. At saka, syempre, fatigue, no? You feel very tired, and you get confused. Yung iba, nagkaka-depression pa. Akala mo may mental health issue. Yung pala, kulang lang sa tubig.
Alam niyo, itong klima, alam natin na climate change na. Hindi na yung magka-climate change pa na.
Oo, nandito na siya talaga.
Nandito na sa atin yan. Ngayon, pag hindi natin binigyan ng pansin kung paano tayo mag-adjust at mag-adapt. Kasi kumbaga akala minsan natin na, hindi, saglit lang yun. Yung El Nino, 6-7 months lang yan, tapos babalik na sa rainfall. Normal rainfall. But the reality is, the climate change is there upon us now, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to change a lot of situations where we are. And if we don't adapt to it,
We also need to change ourselves, no?
papago sa atin. Kasi tayo rin naman na
Kung
nag-cause.
baga yun ang operative word, the climate change. We want to change climate change, we have to make changes
May
ourselves.
kasabihan nga eh. Climate change requires diet change.
Oh, yes. Oh, ano, no. Yes, but can you explain to us, sir, how that's connected?
Kasi alam niyo, pag numbers, you look at the statistics. Siyempre, I don't want to bore you on statistics, but it's important to note, even a little, pagdating sa tubig, ang requirement para makapagtanim ng palay o makaproduce ng 1 kilo ng bigas, 5,000 liters yan. Ngayon, pagdating sa animal-based food, it triples yung requirement ng tubig. Plus, may mga plus pa. The land use, kasi ngayon dapat maging practical tayo sa land use. Kung paano natin ginagamit yung lupa. Kunyari, nagtatanim tayo ng mais, pero that's for animal consumption. It's not for human consumption. So that means a bulk of our planting season is dedicated to planting grains for animal consumption instead of for human consumption. So kunyari, 3 milyon ang hektarya ang ating kalupaan. I'm just giving statistics there. Kung nagagamit natin yung 3 milyon, may nakasingit dyan sa season. Ito, for 6 months, para sa tao ang pagkain na to, ang production. Pero yung kabila, para sa tao rin, pero papakainin niya yung hayop. Tapos, ayan,
Second hand value. Feed muna the animal, then eat the
then
animal.
eat the animals.
Oh.
So you double the resource required, and the use of land, tinitriple nyo o tinodoble ninyo. So in situations like we are faced today, when we talk about diet, you go on a plant-based diet, it will make things simpler. First, it's healthier. Second, it's healthier both for tayo and the environment in general.
Ano ba yung sabi na dun sa article na nilabas about kung halimbawa ang mga meat eaters naging plant-based sila or we're growing food for direct consumption.
For direct
ng tao,
consumption.
we can actually, if we stop growing food to feed the animals first and we grow it directly for people,
So people
we could
consumption.
feed as much as 20 billion people.
With the amount of land that's being used.
At kung yung mga tao na yun, talagang plant-based yung diet
Oo.
nila, 40 billion
40
people daw
billion.
ang kaya.
Kaya kasi
Wala na sana tayong problema, no? Sa
hindi
ating
tayo
food
gugutumin.
or
Eh,
water.
Food insecurity ho ang hinaharap natin. Ngayon, damandama to ng ating maraming kababayan na nakikita natin ang tuloy-tuloy na pagtaas ng food, basic food, ang tumataas. So, sumasabay din, inflation will go up.
At saka hindi lang mahal, pero hindi mo rin mabili na yung mga lahat na dati natin nabibili.
Plus, because food is so expensive,
Oh, it's not available. Even.
right? Your choices. If you want good food and nutritious food, you have to pay the price for it. But if you have to just fill up your belly and not eating very highly nutritious food, so that sacrifices so many components in our healthy well-being.
In fact, ang isang tip rin for surviving the summer, no? Pag ganitong kainit, sabi, it's good to eat high fiber foods, which is of course pretty much plant-based food, ano? The reason is when you eat high fiber foods, then madami na nga siyang water content. And it also keeps you full longer.
Full. Hindi
Parang
kayo
hindi
parang
kayo-
gutom.
Pag gutom kasi tayo, ay kung ano yung kinakain natin, hindi na tayo mindful sa kinakain natin. And that will affect your health. Di ba ang karne pag kumain ka nun, mainit siya sa katawan.
Yes.
No? That's why cool food sana ating
O,
pagkakain.
kaya high water content food
Yeah.
ang tawag. Kaya ang mga gulay at most food na kinakain natin, actually available for human consumption, you will find this high water content.
Saka yung mga gulay talaga meron siyang generally it's cooling
Yeah.
Fresco siya sa katawan.
So these are some of the points. Ngayon, pag-usapan pa natin yung sa pagbabago na sabi natin, climate change, kailangan merong
Change also.
diet change.
Eat our diet. Oh.
Kasi yung cost ng climate change, yung nag-cost yan, a huge percentage of that is due to feeding human beings. That
Yung
means the land.
animals,
Kasi,
animal agri.
animal agriculture. Kumbaga, the land conversion, everything was driven by the purpose of feeding us with food that is animal.
Based.
Based. And with that, we cause this problem. So the solution is to, you don't have to go back to thinking, ay nako, spinach na lang yung kakainin ko. Pero kita nyo nung araw, nung bata tayo, di ba? Yung kami, pag sinabi mo, nanonood ka ng cartoons, si Popeye, at saka si Brutus, di ba? Nung araw pa lang, marami ng bully eh. Nakikita niyo si Brutus, no? Kaya nga tinawag Brutus eh. Bully.
Saka si Bugs Bunny, kumakain ng carrot.
Tapos alam niyo, nakikita niyo, sinasabi, pag nabubugbog na si Popeye, o natatalo na siya, nalagay na sa argapiado, unfortunately lang, wala silang
Delato yung
Home
kinakain
garden.
niya eh. Oo.
Mura yung delata ng spinach. So, pero, lumalaki yung ganito niya, kaya sobrang laki yung ganito niya, pero yung ganito hindi na-develop. Nakakakain ng spinach yun. Pero ito, may punto ron eh.
Pero ang atin, we don't have to eat spinach. Kangkong lang, naku, it's
Kangkong,
way better
tanggusta
pa than
kamote.
spinach. So,
Yan yung ating katapat ng ating pwedeng kainin. Tsaka
actually,
lalaki,
marami tayong gulay na better pa than spinach, di ba?
meron
Like
ako,
malunggay, ampalaya leaves,
yung isang,
alugbati, naku.
yung grandmother ng aming governor. Ano siya ngayon? Kanina nag-usap kami bago nung show na to. Dahil nag-attend siya ng
She was-
community-based plant-based
Nagturo tayo ng
nagturo
plant-based diet
sa
sa
mga
isang
community.
barangay.
Oo.
Oo.
Eh,
She was the one who invited us for her barangay. And so, nag-demo kami ng luto at nag-explain syempre about plant-based diet. Nag-iwan din kami ng mga recipes sa kanya.
Oo. Alam niya, binanggit niya sa akin na buong linggo, halos lahat daw ng kanyang yung sinabihan niya mga katulong at cook sa bahay, ito ang lulutuin ninyo. Magluto kayo buong linggo. So, kumbaga, takanta sila dahil, wow, pusit nagawa na yung main ingredient ay coconut.
Oo.
Buko.
Mm.
Tapos, yung kulay, yung texture, yung lasa, nagtaka sila kung paano nakuha yun. Tapos, meron silang, diba, mahilig tayo sa mga meatballs,
Ay,
diba?
bola-bola.
Bola-bola.
Tinuruan namin sila.
Tinuruan sila gumawa ng paano gumawa ng bola-bola. Ganon din.
At napakamura ho kasi ngayon ang mahal na ng
Pagkain.
bilihin. Ito, lang, unggoy yata yung ginamit natin.
Munggo ba yung ginamit
I'm
niya?
not
Hindi
sure
ko
kung
naalala.
yun ang, kasi ang dami ho namin recipes tinuro.
Tapos yung munggo, nagluto sila ng isang recipe sa munggo, talagang gustong-gusto nila. Ay, red beans, sabi nila. Ay, sarap pala ng gulay. Ito yung, kaya natin pinag-uusapan kasi, ito,
Healthier for you, healthier for the planet.
Saka isa
also.
pa, sabi ko nga sa kanya kanina umaga doon sa kausap ko, alam niyo, importante yung pagkain. Matuto kayo magluto ng gulay na masarap. Kasi kung hindi, gulay yan, at kapag hindi masarap yan, hindi kakainin ng mga bata.
Oo.
Yan ang number one doon. At saka kapag hindi nyo sinanay, ngayon mas lalo marami tayong mga kabataan sa mga elementary schools. Makikita nyo, yung nutrition components ng kanilang healthy well-being, maraming kumbaga naapektuhan. Dahil yun nga, basta ang ekonomiya natin is taking a hit, nagmamahal ang pagkain, mag-shortcut ho tayo lahat para to make ends meet.
Pagka pumunta ka halimbawa sa sari-sari store, halos lahat ng mga kain natin doon, puro mga junk food.
Yung choices ho,
Oo.
kulang ang choices pagdating sa nutritious food. Ngayon, nagkukulang pa ang tubig. So all of it is coming into play from lack of good nutritious food, water for hygiene and health. Diba? Tapos, pag mainit pa yung panahon, coupled by the high temperatures, so that means the quality of our life is compromised. It takes a certain standards ika nga, may mga parameters na kailangan kang makumpleto in every society, from education to good nutrition to comforts to places where people can have distress. Kung na ma-distress sila,
Stress.
to distress naman sila. Yung mga ganun, to be with family. Ngayon, ang limitation natin, mall. Tayo sa mall, malamig. But quality of oxygen is not there.
Oo. Doon pa tayo nagkakahawaan.
Tapos syempre, pag pumunta kayo ng mall, kadalasan, kailangan nyo ng panggastos.
Ay, napakamahal.
Napakamahal.
Lahat ng kilos may gastos.
May gastos. So we need to be seeing it in a very practical basis. What is important for us? Number one, health. Health both physical, mental, and your very spiritual health. Kailangan lahat yan tinatakpan niya. Kino-cover natin lahat ng areas na yan. At saka isa pa, yung, di ba, sabi natin yung social health. If you're physically Your self-care is good. Socially, I don't think you have an issue.
Ngayon, maraming social activities, di ba? Kasi summer na, gusto maglabasan ng tao. Piliin ho natin yung ating pupuntahan para naman healthy tayo dahil napakainit ngayon. Maganda rin ho kung ang iniisip nyo outdoor activity, magsuot ho tayo ng hat dahil napakainit. So this is gonna protect us, no? Wide-brimmed hat ang ating recommendation.
Hindi yung panlalaki yan.
Ay, hindi. By your own mind. Pwede sa'yo yung kamukha yung suot ng ating. Meron ho kami dito kasi sa forma. Yung anak po namin, nasa forma siya, lagi siyang suot ng tawag nun nila, farmer's hat. Para to stay cool, di ba? Kasi siya ho, ang work niya lagi nasa beach. So you have to protect yourself.
Sa sombrero, kasi laki ng, kala mo, suit niya, payong.
Ah.
Dahil malupit ang init dito sa laon niya.
Be
Kasi tabing
careful.
dagat.
You can also go to places like, maybe go for a trek somewhere where it's cooler.
Tsaka meron akong gustong i-share sa mga tao. Kasi siyempre, parang in general lang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon.
Oh, how to survive our heat.
How to survive. Tapos, how do we make it so that the organs, especially the heart, especially for those from, everybody, young, old, lahat,
It's
middle-aged,
good you mentioned the heart kasi the heart is very sensitive to
heat.
heat. Oo.
Kasi fire,
Marami ngayon tumataas ang BP dahil sa init.
emotions. Diba? Nandiyan nagagaling yung anger, yung love, diba? Ganyan, diba? So, yung emotional content ng ating pananaw sa buhay, ang buhay natin mismo, napapansin natin na apektado yan talaga ng condition. So, physically, at saka siya.
Oo, baka naman you have a secret there you can share with us para naman to take care of our hearts at this time.
Batiin natin muna yung ating mga kasama. Si Bert Pasqua, morning to you. Bert. Herschel Tolentino, good morning. Morning sa
And
inyo.
ligaya, I hope you are maligaya.
Let's see, Bert Enriquez, oo nga, dapat palaging maligaya.
Oo.
Kahit na napakainit, dapat maligaya pa rin tayo.
Yes.
Alright? Bert Enriquez watching from Subic.
Okay, sana safe kayo dyan. Marami yatang lumilipad dyan ngayon ng mga aeroplano.
Hindi, wala na yan. Ngayon nga,
Meron,
may jet
oo,
fighters
hanggang
ngayon
sa
dyan. Pag kayo mabahala, sabi daw nila, hindi daw sila maghahanap ng gulo. Sabi ng ating presidente, pero hindi natin masabi. Baka hindi tayo mag-umpisa ng gulo. Tapos, lakbay gulay. Kaibigan niya.
Yes, our friends na mahilig sa gulay. Very good.
Tuloy lang ang ating,
Oo.
dapat yung lakbay gulay, lumaki ang trigo niya.
Yes.
Padala namin sa inyo yung mga ibang informasyon tungkol sa importansya,
Plant-based diet.
sa mga science-based. Hindi lang yung kamong pakakala
Parang uso-uso lang.
pinulot-ulot lang natin dahil nauuso yung maging vegan ngayon. Diba?
Yan uso. Yan ang makakasave sa atin sa climate change.
Tsaka sa ating planeta. Kasi it's a planet thing. In the quality of our lives today, if we're experiencing this, watch out. It is going to get worse in the future. Adaptation is required.
Kaya ngayon pa lang, na tayo, adjust na po tayo. Okay, so what was that again about the heart?
Okay, sa ating puso. Diba? Minsan mahanap tayo ng paraan para the heart can function normally and at all times. And even in different conditions na nagte-take place,
Oo,
Heart
whether we are active or resting,
our heart, kasi alalahanin nyo, ang heart,
hindi yan
kumbaga,
dapat nagpapahinga.
hindi. Pero
Kailangan
hindi rin naman
tuloy-tuloy.
siya ni-stress.
Oo.
Kasi the heart is the very, tawag nila, emperor of all the different organs. Kasi siya yung nagpapadala ng dugo para nandun yung nutrition, nandun yung oxygen.
And we have to take away also
All the toxic,
toxin.
yung mga basura. Okay? So, di ba, may oxygen, tapos may carbon dioxide. Yan, yung process na yan, cardiovascular system. Kaya sa atin, sinasabi palagi na kailangan gumalaw tayo. Kasi ang ating puso, muscle yan .
So
Hindi
to
mo naman
keep it
pwede.
strong, All
Yeah.
the muscles also should be strong.
Yeah, you see, you have to supply, it supplies all the different cells of your body, throughout your body. Ang dami-dami niyan,
Yeah.
bilyones, trilyones na
So what's good for our other muscles is good for the heart
Yes.
automatically. No? Kaya kailangan may exercise.
yeah, hindi tayo pwedeng pinababayaan natin yung health ng ating puso. Pero hindi rin natin pwede ini-stress. For example, it doesn't make sense if you try to exercise in this condition during the day na
Sobrang
mainit na.
init, oo.
So
So
you
may
see,
timing din,
yes,
ano?
may timing.
Mhm.
Dapat maaga pa lang, masyadong mainit, para hindi niya naman stressin yung inyong puso.
Don't
Yeah.
get too dehydrated din kasi
Yes.
napakainit. So may time din siya mag-exercise, may time din siya mag-rest. Rest
Oh,
but not stop, no?
Yeah.
And we need to drink also, no?
And also we
Drinking
need
when you're exercising.
to strengthen it, that keep it in optimum condition,
Level.
but yet not strain it, not stress it. So there are
So,
many
ano ba
ways
yung
of ours doing it.
Mhm.
Even mindful breathing, it begins with mindful breathing. This is so crucial because kung ang breathing pattern niyo mababaw or shallow,
Marami ganun, parang ang bilis.
oh,
Oo.
so ang puso, siyempre kaya tumataas nga yung BP dahil
May stress.
na-stress siya. Kaya kailangan niya mag-pump more.
Hypertensive. So may
Oo.
tension.
May tension.
Oo.
Anything with tension has to do with muscle.
Yung
But you
hindi siya
remember-
relaxed.
Kunyari, tensionado ka rito. Tigas ng ganito. Yeah, there's something that trigger your tension. Immediately, your body reacts, right?
Parang
tigas yung leg ko.
nakahawa-hawa na.
Or, siyempre, pag
Oo.
na-tension isang parte ng inyong katawan, unang makakadama at makakaramdam ng tension ay yung iyong puso. Kasi ang gagawin ni puso, kunyari, na-experience natin to, di ba? Minsan naka-cramps tayo.
Oo.
Sa gabi, minsan, yun ang pinakamasakit, yung naka-cramps ka sa tulog Nagigising ka,
Lalo na
nagka-cramps.
ngayon, kung dehydrated, madaling magka-cramp.
Huwag niyong iisipin na, hindi ba, what would bring it to normal para mawala yung cramping? Di ba, you try to have, kasi cramping, when cramping takes place, that means there's
Flow.
lack of flow of
Oo.
blood to that particular location. So, sino ang may responsibility no? Puso. Kapag kayo ay nakahiga, di ba, supposed to be naka-relax. Yung lower
Actually,
extremities.
madali mag-flow.
Nagpo-flow yung dugo sa ating mainly torso, paakyat. Flow. Nandiyan kasi lahat ng ating organs. So the flow of blood is not to the extremities, some muscle, bones, and all of that, but it's primarily during the night
Sa torso.
sa torso, where all the organs are.
Kaya ba minsan ka nga nagka-cramp sa limbs? Kasi nga, hindi masyadong nagpo-flow doon.
Hindi
Hindi
nagpo-flow.
ka kasi nagalaw.
Oh, yun. Pag hindi ka gumalaw, minsan, ang tagalan ng tulog mo, di ba? O kaya napasok ka ng lamig, minsan may mga ganun
Minsan na iwan mo nakataas sa isang pillow.
Oo.
leg
O
mo.
kaya, siyempre, minsan ngayon kasi hindi natin help it May electric pa na nakatapat. Kung hindi tayo
Or
nag-aircon.
aircon. Oo, yung
Yan.
iba, sobrang lamig
So,
ng aircon.
It, causes the cramps, but not only that, there's other factors. I just want to make this an example. Any tension part, any part of your body that gets tense, you will find the first organ that will suffer is your heart.
Kasi siya yung dapat in charge sa circulation.
Circulation. Okay, that's why it's very important for us to be mindful and not just be parang we don't think in terms of numbers of breath. We don't think on numbers of,
Yung heart, hindi usually iniisip hanggat nag-heart attack. Bakit? Saka mo lang naalala.
naalala.
Meron ka pala ako dapat alagaan dito.
Oh, and wag niyong isipin na para sa mga elders at saka middle-aged yan. Nangyayari na. Marami yung hypertension ngayon. It's
Bata
between
pa.
the age of 24 to 36. Nagiging hypertensive na yung mga bata kasi maaga pa lang, they're already faced with the type of stress that many of us as adults now.
Hindi pang adult lang na
It's just an adult issue, but never a young
young adult.
generation issue. So because of the tension that is taking place in all of our lives, young and old, you will find the beginning stress of that, yung kumbaga may hangganan yun eh. It can only handle so much. Yeah, you can only strain your organs to a certain point. Then it reaches a breaking point.
Yeah.
So what do we do? What is the simplest thing to do?
Breathe right.
Breathe right?
Mhm.
Necessary.
Exercise.
Exercise. It doesn't have to be so hard.
Yeah.
Just walk.
Basta also regular, no?
And there's movement. Yeah, in your activities.
Yeah, we can't really just look at our phone sitting down on the
Yeah, you cannot just do that. And that causes stress too. Pag na-strain kayo,
Oo.
heart kagad.
Sunod na.
Pag may eye strain or ear strain or whatever it is, there's sensual issues, you will find heart kagad.
At saka nakaka-tense, di ba, minsan, kung ano nababasa mo dyan sa internet. Tense din, no? Whenever you get emotionally stressed, nate-tense din mo yung heart pa. Kaya malalaman yung matigas dito,
That's why, very important.
na.
Tubig. Okay? Keep the blood flowing. That's what water does. Okay? But there's
But remember,
one
every cell in the body needs the
right water. There's one I would share it with you. It's your choice to do it or not. You know how the bees in the colonies, when they're working day and night, the buzzing sound gets louder during the day when they're busy. At night, you can still hear the buzzing sound, the humming sound inside the colony,
Pero mas less na.
much less.
There, oh.
But as a group, the buzzing, the humming that they do keeps them in touch with one another, and it brings about the pacing of their work. When the humming,
Parang yun ang pang timing nila.
oh, may timing sila.
Kumbaga may beat, no?
Oh,
Kinapalo, may rhythm. Na
yun nga, yun yung rhythm nun eh. And they go by what work they are performing at the given time. But the
Sabi nga,
humming,
busy as a bee, lagi
right,
may ginagawa.
the humming never stops.
Oo.
It's just the level and the intensity of the humming. So they work in unison. Similarly, the organs of our body, our whole body is made of different cells,
Different organs din.
and different organs will function, supplying the different roles. Yeah, liver, filter, heart, the pump, di ba? Then you have your kidneys, like more filtration para sa tubig naman. Maraming role lahat yan. Gallbladder, spleen. Tapos you make sure your bones, your muscle tissues, yeah, your structural tissues, kumikilos yan. You will find our body works as a team. Every component of your body, all the organs work as a team.
Yeah, you
It
can't
has a
expect
particular,
that one will do the job of everyone.
it has a particular rhythm. We call it biorhythm.
Yes.
Okay. And this biorhythm is influenced by our surrounding too, and by what we eat and what we do with our body.
Mm.
When there is no unison in the rhythm, because you don't take the time to understand how the flow of energy that moves, because it's the energy that flows.
And it's all okay na sana, meron
Right.
talaga. Pero if you can even get in the way of your
Right.
biorhythm,
So
sa mga bad habits.
you know what can get you so that your biorhythm is in sync? The simplest thing is sound. As the bees are doing their humming, we can do
Mhm.
a humming practice, which is
Parang pang-reboot siya ng system.
Yes.
Yun.
When you breathe, inhale. Pag huminga kayo, then longer. You know what it does?
You
It
can
makes
feel
it
the
so you-
vibration here, ano?
it makes it so
Does
that
it go
the
everywhere?
exhalation is longer. Takes longer to exhale. And you can expel the air out very nicely.
Di ba, hindi ba parang narinig ko na sa'yo noon, pagka slower ang iyong exhalation, calming din siya.
It
yung
calms.
effect. Oo.
It's the calming. It has a calming effect. Di ba? Ano yung opposite ng sudden exhalation? Para kang hindi makahinga.
Oh.
Hindi mo ilabas yung hangin. So you
Pagka
get stressed.
ninervous ka, di ba,
Oo.
parang hindi ka talaga,
Okay.
apektado talaga yung rhythm na naiiba.
Yung biorhythm na apektuhan. So when you're taking air, huminga kayo, be mindful of your breathing. Just remember, when you're stressed out, you try it. I will challenge everybody. Try it.
Yeah, it works, pero parang nakakaantok.
Oh, man.
Talagang,
Kung di nga kayo makatulog, subukan nyo. See what it does. It begins, your biorhythm starts to go in sync. Because the proper breathing pattern is normalizes. No?
Tsaka teka, di ba, nararamdaman ko dito yung vibration eh. Di
Ang
ba
ganito.
nandito yung mga ano natin?
Nandiyan yung thyroid, nandiyan
Mga
yung
hormonal,
thymus and
glands.
thyroid
Oo.
gland. Eh, ang thymus
So lahat
dito.
sila okay rin ah.
Ang thymus is next to the heart. Dalahanin nyo. So yung emotional content.
Affected
Is
yan.
affected
Kaya
too.
nakakakalma din siguro. No?
Kaya, and it's an ancient sound that's been recommended for a long time. For others who knew this, may ano to, this is science
Yes,
support.
I even attended a seminar on this, no?
You know what?
It really works.
What it does? The vagus nerve
The vagus nerve po is the biggest nerve in the body.
in the body.
It's really big from here down
Down.
your torso.
It contains, it's like the main, use the messengers. Nagsusupply yan eh. So that
It
means
sends messages around the body.
around the body. So when the message is, kasi alam nyo, sa nervous system natin, may dalawang component yan. One is, pag kayo ninenervyos o tensyonado kayo, yung sympathetic nervous system nyo ang nagiging naapektuhan. Nagbabago, even yung mata nyo, yung dilation ng mga mata nyo, nagbabago lahat yun. Yung kulay ng balat nyo, nagbabago yan.
Even the color of your face.
The color of your face changes. Tapos inside, in your organs, yung ating mga glands, adrenal gland, yung mga pineal glands sa brain, lahat yan nagre-respond sa tension. So there are several components of the sympathetic nervous system that is affected. And these are the ones that we are faced with during
Now,
fright.
or flight.
Oo, di ba? Yun. Today, because of the way we live our life, the tension is sustained and continuous. The tension can come in different ways. Pag hindi lang kayo makatulog ng tama, tensionado na kayo. Meron kayong inisip naging problema sa bahay o sa trabaho, tensionado na kagad kayo. Tapos, hindi lang kayo kumain ng tama, tensionado na kagad kayo. Di ba? Hindi kayo makainom ng tama, tensionado kagad kayo. There's so many factors.
Walang ilaw.
Oo, pag pinag-ambag-ambag niyo yan, you learn, then you start to live in a way where the sympathetic nervous system is always in a high state.
Pati siya stress na.
Stress na yan.
Masyado ng hirap.
And the body is trying to adapt to the situation. Just so that you don't end up with a heart attack. You don't end up with organ failures. You don't end up with so many situations you're mentally affected by what's going on. Ang dami nga niyan eh. You are all component. Now, it means your biorhythm is out of sync. It's not working. It's not working in unison, just as the bees are, but ang dami nila. The rhythm of their work,
So they help each other.
they help each other. Now, our
Parang
organ,
symphony.
Everybody
making
each
the right
organ is
music.
performing its task good. But also there's a time kailangan may downtime. To make it so that
Balance.
parasympathetic naman,
Siya naman.
opposite. Yun naman, makikita niyo yung totally opposite ni sympathetic nervous system. Siya naman, diktado siya ng proper breathing.
Kaya
Good
breathing
nutrition.
really helps.
Tapos,
Oo.
yung sinabi natin na
Yung rest, sleep.
rest, humming, oming, pag kayo na-stress na, sige, umupo na kayo muna.
Give yourself
the proper break until you activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
para naman mabalansin, no? Ganun lang
batiin
pala yung
natin-
kadali eh. Simple
Pati
lang
natin si
na.
Jen Shiva at saka si Jen Bone.
Oo.
Siguro hindi magkapatid yan kasi sa harap yung
Hindi
parehas.
pareho kami.
at saka si Cliff
Pareho
Hart.
ng first
Good
name.
morning, Cliff. Long
Ah,
time.
magandang umaga sa inyo.
I hope kahit sa init ng panahon dito, nagagala kayo at nasisiyahan sa ating pinag-uusapan.
Full
Kasi
kayo,
alam nyo, ang init ng panahon, nakaka-stress yan. Baka yung sympathetic yung nervous system.
Oo.
Siya yung, so kailangan natin, to cool off, to chill.
Yeah.
Diba? Sabi nila.
Stop and take a drink.
Right?
Teka, I want to tell them what's the best times to drink. Sa umpisa pa lang, sa umaga pa lang. Pag-gising nyo, drink already. You can take 1 to 2 cups. And then before meals, not right before, but maybe 30 minutes before, uminom na tayo. No? Kasi also water helps us. So we don't overeat and it helps us also in digestion. Not during the meal, before. Okay, then when you eat high fiber foods, also have some water. Sip lang naman. Because that helps also digest. And then in the mid-afternoon, inom ulit tayo kasi by that time baka nga medyo mildly dehydrated na tayo. Di ba minsan pagka napahaba yung iyong siesta, pagising mo medyo masungit.
Okay,
Baka na-dehydrate siya.
yung lalamunan mo kasi sa mainit na panahon, gano'n eh.
Oo. So, inom tayo, no? Mid-afternoon. And also pagka you feel like, I have a headache, that's also a sign of dehydration. So go ahead and drink. And then, if you're exercising, you have to drink before exercise, during exercise, even
and
after. Because syempre, tayo ay...
Yung metabolism nyo tuloy-tuloy. The exercise, especially if you're doing intense exercises,
Oo.
you have to choose the right time. Either early in the morning where the temperature is manageable so you don't overheat your body.
Yeah, and also at night, bago po tayo matulog, let's drink some water because it's a long time between going to sleep and waking up. Your body should not also dehydrate during the day.
When
So
you
go ahead, take a sip.
when you wake up in the middle of the night and you feel like you have dry throat or all of that, it has to do with, not just natulog kayong
Kasi when we breathe, we're also losing water as we breathe, no? So if you wake
Yeah.
up and you're thirsty, go ahead and drink. You need it. In
breath
fact, it's a good habit to have water beside you, no? Sa
Yeah.
kama.
And every-
Beside your bed.
every inhalation, alalahanin nyo, may percentage of that is moisture.
Yeah, lumalabas din yung moisture sa
Okay.
breathing process.
Breathing
Lalo na kung
cellular
ito,
moisture pa, mas
Some
lalo.
people sleep with the mouth open.
With the mouth
So
open.
lalo dry.
Isa pa yung kunyari, we get used to breathing and speaking with our mouth.
Yeah.
May mga habits
That's
na ganyan.
through your mouth. So.
Right. You should always breathe here. This was designed the nose is designed specifically so that to filter, to regulate the volume of air coming in, right?
And this
Kasi
also
pag dito kayo humihinga,
Oo.
di ba yung esophagus and all of that? Hindi dapat dito kasi nandun yung patterns ng webbing o kaya saan yung veins na dumadaan.
The air,
The air sacs,
yes,
okay? So there's a purpose to those.
air passages.
Yeah. See, so if you start to breathe abnormally through your mouth, and many times when they talk, this is how you'll know that you're not breathing through your nose. Pag kayo naglalakad, salita kayo, minsan, parang kinakapos kayo. Tapos you're trying to compensate breathing through your mouth. And then, you know what happens? Become habit forming, especially if you're not practicing regularly.
Lalo
You
yung
don't
may
do breathing?
mga sinusitis,
Yeah.
minsan they end up used to breathing through their mouth,
Yeah,
di
that
ba?
means the body, once you start to breathe through your mouth, again, it triggers the sympathetic nervous system. that it's going to panic.
Ay, gano'n. Kaya, kailangan really breathe right. This is,
You have to breathe
we
right.
have to
You
learn
have
to do
to
it correct.
practice. If you're not exercising regularly, even outside physical, do the humming. Om. Om.
As you exhale,
Exhale.
habang exhale.
Inhale.
Talagang
You will
napapahaba, ano, yung
Napapahaba.
exhale.
Pahaba. Tapos yun nga, the sound itself
Nakaka-calm down.
calms you. You don't have, we're making it loud now because para sa inyo, but you can do it quiet. If you need to take a break somewhere from the stress, you go, 5 minute, 10 minute break. You
So
hum.
try this on yourself and teach those around you also para kumalma tayo lahat. Walang away, walang gulo.
Right.
Maybe we should teach this to the people who are worrying now about war and all that. We should all learn how to relax.
Oh, see, again, remember how the bees work as a team. And they're all individual. There's something 30,000 to 40,000 bees in a colony. And they work on unison. And it's dictated by the humming that they do. The intensity goes higher or goes lower depending on the work that needs to get done. Similarly, our organs, during rest time, needs to be in a biorhythm of rest. So the parasympathetic nervous system becomes very active. And if the more the parasympathetic nervous system is activated, then that becomes more dominant than the sympathetic. So when you have
need
stress,
to balance,
you
right?
need to find a balance. The biorhythm has to be.
Baka sumobra. Mayroon bang ganon? Sobrang relax, ayaw nang kumalaw. Tinamad na.
Anyway, these are things, this is your choice, but we want to share this with you. And maybe sometime I will, have a bit of the time to talk about it, more of the detail of it, just to help everybody in how, at the end of the day, self-care means we take care of our body, our mind, and our very well-being, self-care. The care is, kumbaga, no, care ng sarili yan eh. And the self is not just the body and the mind. The self is the spirit. And how do you make it so that, we are not just being overwhelmed by what is the physical and subtle components of our existence. Actually, we are engaged in activities that is not only, see, when you do caring for yourself, like what people would always tend to think, puro sarili mo lang pag ganun, negative. If you want to perform
It's
well,
not about being selfish. No. It's about taking care.
taking care. And it's our responsibility. Trabaho natin yan. Nasa tao ang gawa, nasa Diyos ang awa. Alalahanin niyo to. Hindi tayo pwedeng, sana ganito na lang. At biyayaan na ako, walugan na ako ng whatever na
Let's do what it
pinagdadasal.
takes, to take care of
Right.
ourselves this summer. And
Kasi-
throughout our lives.
Yeah, put meaning to our life. When you start to care for your well-being, you will find those people, those of us who are engaged in this activity, they recognize the gift of life that they have been given, and they use this opportunity
Appreciation.
to take care of it. Okay,
Okay,
So,
ingat kayo lahat.
ingat kayo lahat.
Chill lang tayo, relax.
Magdasal at mag-meditate. Si Clarice, humabol. Magandang umaga sa iyo, Clarice. And sa lahat,
Yes.
maraming salamat sa inyo. Sa susunod,
See you
Shout
next
out nga.
time. Relax.
Relax. Let's own together. Thank you.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, go pa